Welcome to Cheers PA Beer Tours. In this first episode, we're exploring the Cumberland Valley Beer Trail. Our first stop is Molly Pitcher Brewing Company, where their beers are modern, yet steeped in history. We're at the High Street location, where you can find their tap room and an amazing restaurant with all kinds of delicious food. Molly Pitcher is a really interesting name. So back then, when you guys were trying to come up with the name for the company, how did you decide on Molly Pitcher? What does it mean?
Molly Pitcher was a Revolutionary War heroine. It was actually a name given to any female on the battlefield. They would bring water to the soldiers. This specific Molly Pitcher was Mary Ludwig Hayes. She actually took over when her husband fell ill on the battlefield. She manned the cannon, so she was one of the first active females on a battlefield. She ended up moving to Carlisle after the war. She died here and was buried in a cemetery right next to where our original location and brewery sits down on South Street. So it just, with the War College in town, with the local history, we're all from this area, so it just seemed kind of fitting to grab a hold of that name and run with that.
Awesome. I am familiar now with an open container law actually being lifted in Carlisle. So how has that changed how you all are doing business right now? And are you coming up with creative ways to be able to still get your product out there?
Yeah, that was probably one of the best things the town could have done. It happened early on in the whole, the first shutdown. With that, we were able to put tables in our parking lot because it's off our licensed premises. It's just part of the borough. So people can come in, they can buy a plastic pint of beer, they can sit out back. They're not required to get food doing that. They can kind of just hang out. It's still all socially distanced tables, all that kind of stuff. But it's been really great. It's also cool because the shops fall Saturdays. We could encourage people, hey, come grab a pint here, walk around town, do some shopping. I mean, within 3 blocks, there's 2 other breweries, a distillery, a cidery, so there's a lot of cool stuff. There's one on kind of the outskirts of town as well, but yeah, there's a lot of cool little spots in town that it's kind of, I mean, you could make a day out of just hitting all the different breweries and restaurants and shops in town.
I think that's how a lot of people are beer exploring, right? You know, finding an area where there's a high concentration, parking the car and hitting as many as they can. But let's focus a little bit on what makes you all you and these beers. I'm drinking an awesome ESB right now, which is really fun. I'm most familiar, and I think a lot of our viewers are probably most familiar with the Molly Pitcher Peanut Butter Porter, but these are some special ones we have going on right now. Tim, do you want to tell us a little bit about the ESB and what you love about it?
Yeah, it's one of the recipes that I have had since homebrew. Just a nice classic, traditional English style ESB, Maris Otter malt, a little bit of nugget hop, some melanoidin in there, and just a great 5.5% drinking beer. Kind of reminds me almost like figgy and raisiny sometimes, the smell like a nice tobacco, just makes you kind of want to sit by a fire and smoke a cigar or something like that.
A brewer's favorite. So we're going on a hike right after we leave here. We're gonna head out about 20 minutes out of town and hike up Pole Steeple. I hear that you all have a session IPA though, named after that trail. So maybe we should grab a crowler of that and head up the trail.
Perfect for hiking.
There's so much to do in Carlisle, a town founded on the crossroads with old Native American trading routes. From shops to restaurants and an Art Deco theater to explore, you can do it all while having a beer, thanks to Carlisle's open container rule. We're 20 minutes outside of Carlisle here at Laurel Lake in the Michaux State Forest. We're going to do a short hike up Pole Steeple. This view really is worth the hike. We've worked up an appetite. We're gonna head back to Carlisle and try Red's barbecue. Make sure to make it out to Cumberland Valley's beer trails and check out all they have to offer. Follow us online and tell us all your favorite spots. And let us know where you want us to go next month when we visit Adams County Pour Tour. Cheers, PA.
I have the Patriot Pale Ale, which is my favorite beer that we brew and maybe my favorite beer, period. It's just a nice classic 4.5% pale ale with a Cascade Centennial. Just good, easy drinker, I wouldn't call it a session, but some people think it's more of a session IPA style because it is hopped a little bit more than other people's pale ales, but that's how we like our beer to drink and that's how we brew it.